famous. That's a... Girl, don't start me. Who that is? Alexa! Pause the music. What is over here talking about somebody baby famous? If that's the case, why the rest of his baby mamas ain't famous? What they doing? What are they doing? Please, it ain't that easy, baby. It's not. Y'all love me. Y'all don't love him. I used to love him back in 05, 06. You know, when Hustling came out. Don't play with me, man. Dog ain't did nothing to make me but give me headaches, stress, and misery, if you know.
Y'all, stop whatever you are doing right now, because what just went down on the internet is one of the most disrespectful, most explosive, and most jaw-dropping moments we have seen in hip-hop in a very long time. We are talking about a situation so messy, so deeply personal, and so completely out of pocket that even the most seasoned veterans of this industry are sitting back with their mouths wide open. This is not your average celebrity beef. This is not a couple of diss tracks going back and forth on streaming platforms. This right here touches on something sacred, a mother's memory, and when you cross that line in hip-hop, there is absolutely no coming back from it without consequences. King Harris, the son of legendary rapper T.I., reportedly made a t-shirt featuring the image of 50 Cent's deceased mother on it. Let that sink in for a second. A t-shirt with a dead woman's face on it, used as a weapon in a rap beef. And if that was not already enough to set the entire internet on fire, Rick Ross, 50 Cent's most notorious, long-running enemy, went ahead and put that shirt on, posted the picture online, and sent the whole situation completely over the edge. But here's where the story takes a turn nobody saw coming. 50 Cent's baby mother, Tia Kemp, the woman who has never in her life been afraid to speak her truth regardless of the consequences, came out of nowhere and absolutely lit the entire internet on fire. She went off. She went completely off. And what she said has left fans divided, celebrities shook, and the whole hip-hop world watching with their eyes glued to their screens. This is the full story. Buckle up. To truly understand why this situation exploded the way it did, you have to go back and understand the full landscape of what has been brewing beneath the surface for months now. T.I. had been relatively quiet for a stretch, but whispers in the industry suggested he was working on a new project and needed to generate some serious noise to remind the culture that he was still a relevant force. His son, King Harris, had been making his own moves, trying to carve out a lane for himself in the music industry while simultaneously navigating the enormous shadow cast by his legendary father. And Rick Ross, as always, was lurking in the background, hungry for any opportunity to land a blow on 50 Cent, a man he has been publicly feuding with for over a decade, without ever truly gaining the upper hand. Sources close to the situation, and we are talking people who are actually in these circles, not just social media gossip accounts, reportedly revealed that King Harris had been feeling himself in a serious way following some recent online clashes where he felt he had held his own. According to insiders, people around him were gassing him up, telling him he was built for this kind of public war of words, and encouraging him to go even harder. The problem with being surrounded by yes men is that nobody stops you before you do something that cannot be undone. And what King Harris allegedly did next was something that crossed every line that exists in this culture. The t-shirt surfaced online with very little warning. At first, fans thought it was a joke. They thought it was a fan-made edit, something cooked up in someone's basement for shock value. But the more the image circulated, the more real it became. There it was, a professionally designed t-shirt bearing the face of 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away when 50 Cent was only 8 years old under deeply tragic circumstances. That woman's story is not just a footnote in hip-hop history. For 50 Cent, losing his mother as a child shaped every single thing about who he became. He has spoken about her in interviews with real, raw vulnerability. Her memory is not something he treats lightly. And for someone to take that image and put it on a piece of merchandise as a clout move in a beef, the reaction from the streets was immediate, and it was brutal. Comment sections exploded. Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, was trending within hours. Even people who had no personal stake in any of this particular beef were coming out to say that the move was deeply disrespectful and that whoever was behind it needed to understand that there are some places you simply do not go. But Rick Ross saw an opportunity. Now, people who have followed the 50 Cent and Rick Ross feud over the years know that Ross has always been on the lookout for any moment he can use to twist the knife. The history between these two men goes back years and has involved everything from diss tracks to lawsuits to social media wars to leaked personal information. Ross has taken his shots, and 50 Cent has consistently responded in ways that have made Ross look bad publicly, exposing alleged inconsistencies in his past, highlighting embarrassing moments, and generally making Ross the butt of some of the most viral jokes in hip-hop history. So when that t-shirt appeared, Rick Ross did not hesitate for a single second. He hopped into King Harris's Instagram comments with a kind of energy that told everyone watching that he had absolutely zero intention of staying on the sidelines of this moment. His comment, telling King Harris that he was going to need that shirt too, was calculated, deliberate, and designed to pour gasoline on an already raging fire. And then, almost as if to fully commit to the chaos, Rick Ross allegedly got his hands on the actual shirt, put it on his body, and let someone take a photo. When that picture hit the internet, it went nuclear. Fans of 50 Cent were outraged. Even people who had no strong feelings about the beef one way or the other expressed serious discomfort with the image. The idea of a grown man putting on a shirt that mocked the memory of another man's dead mother, regardless of what beef existed between them, struck a nerve that went far beyond music. This was personal. This was the kind of move that does not just end a beef. This is the kind of move that starts something else entirely. And that is when Tia Kemp entered the conversation. Now, if you do not know Tia Kemp, let us take a moment to understand exactly who she is and why her voice in this situation carries a weight that is unlike anyone else's. Tia Kemp is the mother of 50 Cent's son, Marquise Jackson. Their relationship has been publicly complicated for years, and Tia Kemp has never shied away from speaking her mind about 50 Cent on social media, in interviews, or during live streams. She has gone after 50 Cent directly on multiple occasions and has been vocal about their co-parenting conflicts. But, and this is the part that makes the current situation so fascinating, when it has ever come down to Rick Ross versus 50 Cent, Tia Kemp has historically shown that there is a line she will not cross. She may have her own issues with 50 Cent, but she is not about to stand by and watch someone publicly dishonor his late mother without saying something. She went live. And what happened on that live stream is what has the entire internet locked in right now. Tia Kemp came on camera looking like a woman who had something burning inside of her that she could not hold back for another second. She was not screaming from the jump. She was composed, dangerously composed, in the way that people get right before they say something so real and so pointed that it hits harder than any scream ever could. She looked directly into that camera and said, "I need to address something that is absolutely disgusting. And I do not care who likes what I am about to say." She then proceeded to call out Rick Ross directly, and she was not gentle about it. According to multiple viewers who were present during the live session and whose accounts have since been widely shared across social media, Tia Kemp said, "And we are keeping this as close to her words as possible while making it suitable for this video. See, this is what grinds me about this fat boy right here. Why are you getting yourself involved in something this serious when you literally look just like 50's mama yourself? You want to wear that shirt and think it is cute? You want to clown a dead woman? That is what we are doing now." The live chat went absolutely insane. Comments were flying in faster than anyone could read them. Supporters were cheering her on. Critics were telling her to stay out of it. And a few people were genuinely shocked that she was going this hard, given her own complicated history with 50 Cent. But Tia Kemp was not finished. Not even close. She pivoted and made a point that stopped a lot of people cold. She reminded everyone watching that Rick Ross had previously been called out for allegedly trying to use 50 Cent's name and reputation to boost attendance at his own car show, trying to ride the wave of 50 Cent's cultural relevance to put money in his own pocket. According to Tia Kemp, that was not just disrespectful. That was a man with no original power of his own, feeding off someone else's energy like a parasite. Her words, not ours. He used 50's name to sell out his little car show, she reportedly said, her voice dripping with contempt. He has been using that man's name for years to stay relevant. Without 50 Cent to react to, What does Rick Ross actually have going on right now? Tell me. I will wait. That line spread across every corner of social media within hours. Memes were made. Reaction videos started pouring in from every major hip-hop commentary channel. People were genuinely debating the point she had made, because whether you agreed with her delivery or not, the underlying argument was something the culture had been quietly acknowledging for a while. But then Tia Kemp went somewhere that nobody expected. She turned her attention to T.I. and King Harris, and she did not pull a single punch. According to live stream viewers, she expressed that while she had love and respect for T.I. as an artist, and as someone who had positively impacted her own life at various points, she believed that the decision to create that t-shirt was rooted less in genuine beef and more in a calculated attempt to generate attention for an upcoming project. T.I. has an album coming, she reportedly said bluntly. And his son is out here doing the most trying to make noise. I see you, Tip. I see exactly what this is. You needed people talking, and now people are talking. But at what cost? You used a dead woman's face. A mother's face. That is not strategy. That is desperation. The word desperation ignited another wave of reactions online. T.I.'s fanbase, which is still enormous and deeply loyal, took serious offense to the characterization. Defenders of King Harris argued that he was simply expressing himself and that calling it a marketing strategy was both unfair and reductive. But the people in Tia Kemp's corner, and there were a significant number of them, felt she was speaking the unfiltered truth that most people were too afraid to say publicly. Now, while all of this was happening online, sources close to Rick Ross reportedly indicated that he was not exactly thrilled about being on the receiving end of Tia Kemp's commentary. According to individuals familiar with the situation, Ross had a reaction to her remarks that was not particularly measured or dignified. Insiders claim that behind the scenes, Ross was agitated, not necessarily because of the specific criticisms Tia Kemp had lobbed at him, but because of who was doing the lobbing. In Rick Ross's world, being publicly checked by 50 Cent's baby mother is a particular kind of embarrassment that sits differently than being checked by another artist. And so, rather than staying silent and letting the moment pass, which, by almost every measure, would have been the smarter play, Rick Ross reportedly decided to respond. Not directly, not clearly, but in that indirect, social media subtweet kind of way that people see through immediately and that usually only makes the original situation worse. He reportedly posted online. The exact wording has been debated across various accounts, but the general sentiment was clear. Something that implied Tia Kemp only had a platform because of her connection to 50 Cent, and that without that association, nobody would know who she was. He reportedly suggested that any visibility she had in the culture was something that had been given to her, not earned. When word of that response reached Tia Kemp, she was reportedly back online faster than anyone expected. And this time, the composure was still there, but the heat behind her words was turned up considerably. "Who is over here saying that somebody made me famous?" She reportedly fired back with a look of absolute disbelief on her face. If that is the case, then why are not the rest of these baby mamas famous? What are they doing? Where are they? Please. It is not that easy, baby. It is not. Y'all love me. Y'all do not love him. I used to have love for him back in the day when he first came out, but that ship has sailed a long time ago. Do not play with me. That man has not done a single thing for me except give me headaches, stress, and years of misery. The internet collectively erupted. The comment sections across every major platform filled with thousands of responses. Some people were standing up for Tia Kemp and applauding her for holding her ground. Others felt she was airing too much personal history in a public space, and that the situation was getting messy in ways that were going to be difficult to walk back. And then there was a significant portion of the audience that was simply entertained, genuinely, completely entertained, by the spectacle of Rick Ross, one of the biggest names in hip-hop, appearing to go back and forth with 50 Cent's baby mother on social media while she dismantled his credibility point by point. She kept going. She reportedly pointed to the artists in Rick Ross's current circle and asked, publicly and directly, why none of them had broken through in any meaningful way if Ross supposedly had the power to elevate people. She named names. She pointed to the lack of visible success surrounding him. She was making an argument that was less about personal beef and more about perceived cultural relevance and power, and she was making it loudly and without apology. "If he can make somebody, then go make somebody," she reportedly said. "Go get those artists he signed some hits. Because the receipts are not there, baby. The receipts are not there." Now, here is where the story takes yet another twist, because no truly great piece of drama is complete without an unexpected development that changes the entire shape of the narrative. According to sources that began surfacing after the initial live stream fallout, someone within Rick Ross's inner circle reportedly reached out to Tia Kemp privately following her public comments. The details of that communication have not been fully verified, but according to what Tia Kemp herself shared publicly, the message she received was not a peace offering. It was, by her account, a thinly veiled attempt to intimidate her into backing off. She claimed that the message implied there could be real-world consequences for the things she was saying publicly. Tia Kemp's response to that alleged private communication was to address it immediately and openly on her platform. She reportedly told her audience exactly what had been communicated to her and then made it very clear that she was not the kind of woman who responds well to being threatened. She claimed she had shut that conversation down completely and that anyone who thought she could be silenced through back channels did not know who they were dealing with. "I told them," she reportedly said, her tone measured but razor-sharp, "that I am not afraid. I have never been afraid. And I am not about to start now because someone sends a message trying to intimidate me. My mother raised me better than that. And if something were to happen to me, the first place people need to look is right at the source of that message." That statement turned the already explosive situation into something that felt genuinely serious. Fans were no longer just watching entertainment unfold. People were expressing genuine concern for Tia Kemp's safety and asking whether the situation had escalated to a place that went beyond social media drama. Mental health advocates and industry commentators began weighing in, noting that this was the kind of public discourse that could have real-world implications. 50 Cent himself had not made any direct public statement about the t-shirt situation or about Tia Kemp's comments at this point, which, if you know 50 Cent's style, is itself a statement. 50 Cent is famously deliberate in his responses. He picks his moments. He does not react emotionally in real time. He calculates, he waits, and when he strikes, it is designed for maximum impact. His silence in the immediate aftermath of all this drama was being interpreted by fans in about 100 different directions at once. Some believed he was genuinely moved by seeing his late mother's image used this way and was taking time to process it privately. Others were convinced he was already formulating a response so devastating that Rick Ross and King Harris would regret this moment for years. A third camp suggested that 50 Cent was simply above it all at this stage of his career, and that the people below him were welcome to fight each other for crumbs while he continued building his empire in film and television. Tia Kemp, interestingly, seemed to subscribe to that third perspective. During the later portions of her live streams surrounding the situation, she shifted from pure emotional reaction to something more analytical. She began explaining to her audience, in her own unfiltered way, exactly why she believed attempts to bait 50 Cent into a public beef were fundamentally misguided strategies. She reportedly said, "Let me tell y'all something real about Curtis Jackson. This man is beyond music at this point. He is operating in an entirely different space. Film, television, business. The people trying to pull him back into rap beef are doing it because they need the attention, not because he owes them anything. He does not care about a versus. He did not do it when the whole world was doing versus battles, and I promise you he was offered a spot during that time. He was not interested then, and he is not interested now." She continued, "When these artists come out with their music and they decide to go at 50, it is 100% about their sales numbers. That is it. That is the whole equation. They are using his name like a ladder because they cannot get high enough on their own. And the funniest part? It never works. It never moves him. It just moves their streaming numbers for about 2 weeks, and then they fade right back into obscurity." Those words generated perhaps the most discussion of anything she said during the entire saga, because there was a cold, unsentimental logic to her argument that a significant portion of the culture found themselves agreeing with, even if they disagreed with everything else about the situation. 50 Cent had genuinely built something beyond rap. His production credits, his television ventures, his business investments, these were real, documented, verifiable achievements that placed him in a different category from most of his peers. Trying to drag him back into street-level social media beef was like trying to get a chess grandmaster to stop playing chess and start playing checkers instead. Meanwhile, King Harris had not been completely silent through all of this. He reportedly made some online comments of his own that further complicated the situation and kept the conversation alive. Sources suggest that rather than backing down, King Harris doubled down on his position, suggesting that he was not afraid of 50 Cent or anyone connected to him and that he was going to continue expressing himself however he saw fit. He reportedly also pushed back on the idea that his father T.I. was using the situation for album promotion, arguing that the beef was legitimate and personal rather than manufactured. Those defending King Harris argued that he had every right to speak his mind and that the cultural expectation that younger artists should bow to veteran figures without question was itself a problematic dynamic worth challenging. Hip-hop, after all, has always been about challenging power structures and speaking truth to whoever is at the top. Why should King Harris be any different simply because the name he was going up against happened to be larger than most? The counterargument, articulated most clearly by Tia Kemp and echoed by numerous industry commentators, was that there is a massive difference between challenging someone artistically and dragging their deceased parent into the conversation. One is hip-hop. The other is something else entirely. The t-shirt, at the end of the day, was the line that most people agreed had been crossed, regardless of what side they were on in the broader debate. Even some of King Harris's supporters reportedly admitted privately that the shirt had been a step too far, and Rick Ross's decision to wear it, rather than simply comment on it, had compounded the offense in a way that was difficult to defend. As the days passed and the news cycle kept churning, new details continued to emerge that added even more layers to the story. Entertainment blogs reported that multiple industry figures had privately reached out to both T.I. and Rick Ross urging them to let this particular element of the situation die down out of basic respect. Whether those conversations took place and what exactly was said during them has not been confirmed, but the reporting itself added to the sense that even behind the scenes, people were recognizing that this had gone somewhere uncomfortable. Fans were also beginning to resurface older interview footage and social media posts from all the parties involved, piecing together timelines and context that seemed to suggest this conflict had been building for far longer than the general public realized. Old clips of Rick Ross making comments about 50 Cent's personal life. Old footage of T.I. discussing his feelings about 50 Cent in various contexts. Even older clips of Tia Kemp speaking about the dynamics between all of these figures were being dusted off, reposted, and analyzed through the lens of everything that had just happened. The picture that emerged from all of this archival digging was of a conflict with genuinely deep roots, not just a spontaneous flare-up, but something that had been simmering quietly for a long time, waiting for exactly the right spark to explode. And that t-shirt had been the spark. Tia Kemp reportedly continued engaging with her audience throughout the week following the initial explosion, dropping additional commentary and analysis that kept her name firmly in the center of the conversation. She addressed the people who questioned her motivations, the people who told her to stay out of it, and the people who suggested her history with 50 Cent made her an unreliable voice on the subject. "People keep asking me why I am getting involved," she reportedly said during one follow-up session. "I am not doing this for 50 Cent. I am doing this because there is a basic level of human decency that got violated here. That woman, his mother, she did not choose to be in this beef. She is gone. She cannot speak for herself. And someone decided to put her face on a t-shirt like she is a prop. That is what I am responding to. That has nothing to do with whatever issues exist between me and 50. Some things are just wrong regardless of who they involve." That particular statement landed differently than most of what she had set up to that point. It stripped away the personal history and the beef dynamics and the industry politics and got down to something much simpler and much harder to argue with. A woman had died. She had been somebody's mother, and her image had been used as ammunition in a music industry argument. The people defending that decision, when faced with that framing, had a much harder time making their case sound reasonable. The wider internet began to reflect that shift. The conversations happening in comment sections and forum threads started to tilt in a direction that was less about taking sides in the 50 Cent versus everyone else beef and more about examining what the whole episode said about where the culture was at. Respected voices in hip-hop journalism and commentary began weighing in with more nuanced takes. Long-form reaction videos started appearing, with creators spending significant time not just discussing the drama but asking real questions about limits and lines and what it meant for the health of the culture when deceased parents became fair game for clout. Rick Ross, for his part, seemed to have gone noticeably quieter following the intense backlash from wearing the shirt. His social media activity reportedly dropped significantly in the days after the initial firestorm. Whether that represented genuine reflection, strategic retreat, or simply the advice of people around him telling him to let it breathe, nobody could say for certain. But his silence was being tracked and noted just as closely as any statement he could have made. And then, according to sources who were watching the situation extremely carefully, something happened that suggested the story was far from over. Insiders began reporting that 50 Cent had been made fully aware of every single detail of what had transpired. The t-shirt, Rick Ross wearing it, the online fallout, Tia Kemp's live streams, the alleged private message that had reportedly been sent to her. All of it. And according to those same sources, 50 Cent's reaction had been exactly what anyone who truly knew him would have predicted. He was not panicking. He was not posting emotional reactions online. He was not engaging in the kind of impulsive back and forth that his opponents clearly hoped would make him look rattled. He was, by all accounts, waiting, watching, and taking very careful note of exactly who did what and when. One source, speaking under the condition of anonymity to a major entertainment outlet, reportedly described 50 Cent's demeanor as eerily calm, the kind of calm that people in his circle had learned over the years to take extremely seriously. Because when 50 Cent gets that quiet in the face of provocation, what follows is almost never small. Fans who had been following his career since the beginning knew exactly what that description meant. They had seen it before. The pattern was unmistakable. Someone pokes the bear goes quiet. And then, when everyone starts to think maybe the bear has decided to walk away, the bear appears exactly where you least expect it and reminds you in the most painful way possible why you probably should have left it alone. Tia Kemp, in one of her final comments on the situation during that initial wave of coverage, seemed to understand this perfectly. She reportedly told her audience with a knowing look and a measured tone that has since been quoted across dozens of recap videos, "Y'all think this is over? Y'all think because it got quiet that it is over? Let me tell you something about 50 Cent. Everything that everybody is doing right now is going to die down. And the moment they think it is done, the moment they breathe a sigh of relief and move on to the next thing, that is exactly when he's going to pick it back up. That is who he is. That is how he has always operated. He is a true villain. He genuinely is. And I mean that not as an insult, but as a statement of fact. You do not want to be on the wrong side of that man's patience." She paused for a moment before adding, "And to everyone who thinks I am saying this because I am on his side, I have my own issues with Curtis. Those have not changed. But you can have your own issues with somebody and still recognize when somebody else is making a very, very serious mistake. This is a very serious mistake. Leave his mama out of it. Leave that alone." The clip of those final words reportedly became one of the most shared pieces of content surrounding the entire story, not because of the drama in her delivery, but because of the sobering, almost prophetic clarity with which she laid out what she believed was coming. Whether she turned out to be right, whether 50 Cent ultimately decided to respond, and what form that response would take, was now the question consuming every corner of the hip-hop conversation. One thing, however, was undeniably, undisputedly clear to everyone watching. Tia Kemp had shown up in this moment with a fire, a conviction, and a willingness to stand in the center of an incredibly volatile situation and say exactly what she believed without flinching. Whether you agreed with every word she said or not, whether you thought her history made her perspective complicated or valid, she had made herself impossible to ignore. And in a story full of bold moves, questionable decisions, and characters playing for position, her voice had somehow managed to cut through all of the noise and land on something that felt, at its core, like something true. Conclusion and call to action. So here is where we stand right now. King Harris put 50 Cent's late mother's image on a t-shirt, and the internet has not recovered from it. Rick Ross made the choice to wear that shirt and amplify the disrespect to a level that has genuinely shocked a significant portion of the hip-hop community. Tia Kemp came through with the kind of unfiltered, fearless commentary that reminded everyone exactly why she is a force to be reckoned with in her own right. And 50 Cent, the man at the center of all of this, has remained calculatingly silent, watching, waiting, and undoubtedly planning his next move with the kind of cold precision that has defined his entire career. The questions left hanging in the air are enormous. Will 50 Cent respond? And if so, how? Is T.I. truly distancing himself from the t-shirt situation, or is he quietly standing behind his son? Will Rick Ross ever directly address the massive backlash that wearing that shirt generated? And what happens to Tia Kemp now that she has put herself directly in the crosshairs of one of the most volatile situations in recent hip-hop history? There are no clean answers yet. The story is still moving. New developments are breaking seemingly every single day, and this channel is going to be right here covering every single one of them as they happen. But right now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Tia Kemp was right to speak up the way she did? Or did she step into something that was not her place? Do you think Rick Ross crossed a line that cannot be forgiven by wearing that shirt? And what do you think 50 Cent is going to do next? Because y'all know that man does not let things go without a response. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below right now. We read every single comment on this channel, and we genuinely want to know where you stand on this. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because this story is far from over and you absolutely do not want to miss what comes next. Smash that like button, turn on your notifications, and share this video with somebody who needs to see it. This is the kind of story that the whole culture needs to be talking about. We will see you in the next one. Stay locked in.